Good morning, everyone. Can you believe it? This week is Thanksgiving week, and it's a perfect opportunity to write down what you're grateful for. I try to do that every single morning, and sometimes I'll do it in the evening. But I usually in the evening when I'm saying what I'm grateful for, that's just, right before I go to sleep. And so I want you to think about that mindset this week with Thanksgiving week. And it's just we should be doing it every day, but this is the week that everyone does it at the same time this Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So I was going to be talking about a lot of different things today in reference to being grateful. But one of the things that I wanted to bring up is how grateful I am that we found this company, EXP, and the people that I have met, um, with the company, one of them being Brent Gove. So I don't know if you have ever talked to him personally. I met him personally in the elevator on my first EXP con back in 2022. And the energy, I felt with him in the elevator and the energy that I have felt with him, meeting him in other opportunities. And just a couple of months ago, I got to listen to him speak. And one of the things he brought up was the book called The Greatest Salesman in the World. And I had heard of the title, but I had never really taken the time to read it. And it's such a great book. I was so surprised. I shouldn't have been surprised because with Brent Gove recommending it, but I was really surprised at you know, the 10 success tips, or they call them scrolls in the book. And the book is just goes back to the time when around the time that Christ was born. And so it's a good time of year to be thinking about that too. Um, Whether you are a Christian or not, this is just a great book in the aspect of your mindset. And talks about a camel boy and how he wants to be wealthy like the person that he works with. And that was his master. And so I really love the book, the way that it breaks it down in these 10 scrolls. So I'm going to see if I can share. Hold on a second. Let me go back to sharing. Oops. And then I will actually see if I can turn it into a PowerPoint here from current slide. And there we go. So can you see it where it says the greatest salesman in the world, 10 principles? I think I've got Allison. Can you see that? Fantastic. Okay, so looks like people are coming in now, and what I started this conversation about was being thankful and how I'm thankful for the company. I'm thankful for the people that I've met within EXP, and I'm thankful for everything that I learn. Brent Gove is who recommended that we all read this book. He was on a talk with us, with me and my team, a couple months ago, and I had heard of the book, but I never read it. So once I read it, I was like, what a great book based on 10, they're called scrolls within the book, but this is actually 10 principles for success. So I figured let's go over these. So the first one in the book, it talks about the power of good habits. And, what I was talking about, giving thanks and being grateful, because this is Thanksgiving week, instead of just once a year saying what you're grateful for, try to do this every day. Try to form habits of becoming a slave to those good habits. So that what he means by being a slave is just, it's sort of like you do it automatically. It's just something that you start your day out with. So success begins every single day, and be disciplined with those daily habits. And so what I wanted you guys to think about is, what habits do you need to start? I mean, is it something that you could do every morning right before you get out of bed? While you're laying there, you could think about the things that you're grateful for. As soon as you put your feet on the ground, your day is starting. And sometimes we forget. We forget to do those little bitty things. So try to make it a habit of starting your day with being grateful. And then start thinking about some of the habits that you need to end. Maybe it is a habit of sleeping in. Maybe it's a habit of, not doing the structured work that you need to do every single day, because we do have a lot of freedom, with our day as a business owner. And so start looking at those habits that are good habits, and then letting go of those ones that you really don't need. Scroll 2, or, success tip number 2 is greet each day with love. So, a lot of times we get up in the morning, we start our day, and a lot of this stuff comes at us. Some people will send emails really early in the morning, and if you start your day with the emails, you're going to see things that's going to take you off that, doing the things that you need to really do for yourself. So try to fill your heart with love, because love overcomes fear, it overcomes anger, it overcomes failure. And actually, it's the highest form of vibration to overcome any kind of challenge. So if you've got something that you're upset with, try to look at it on a different perspective. Try to look at it with, how can I learn from this? How can I take this, instead of having hate or fear about it? How can I actually surround myself with love, so that actually can have a more of a better understanding? And then also look at yourself, love your job, really feel the love of the things that you're grateful for. Because when you start putting a higher desire around love, you actually start attracting the things that you want. So if there's something that you really, really want in your life, and you say, I would love this, or I do love this, you can actually put it in the present tense of, I love this. And when you surround it with love, it actually brings it to you quicker. Scroll number 3 is, to persist. And I know Barry Overton, who is my sponsor at EXP, he had a really good talk about persistence. And I want you to start thinking about how you can persist until you actually succeed at something, because persistence is the key that unlocks all doors to success. If you have something that you really, really want, and you just try for a little bit and then you give up, you are so close to it coming true. There's a great book called The Slight Edge, and it shows that, where people will try and try and try, and then they just keep giving up. And at that last, if they had just done it one more time, they would have succeeded. They're so close. And so when you look at your business, or if you look at your mindset, and you keep having these thoughts of, I can't do this, well, then you're telling yourself you can't do it. You have to switch it to, I can do this. And then it opens up your mind, opens up your mindset in that aspect of, what do I need to do to make this work out? Because if one door closes, let's just say you're trying, and then all of a sudden this door gets shut. And I'll use an example. When you go to listing appointments, and I, if I didn't win the listing, that's considered sort of like a door closing. I always ask that seller, to be open, that if it doesn't work out with the person that they end up going with, to remember me. And because I always feel like, okay, that door closed, but it could open later, or be open to another opportunity, because you're not going to get every single listing. It'd be great if you did, but you want to be open to other opportunities, because if you beat yourself up about not getting that listing, then all of a sudden you're sitting in a position of not being open. You've just closed it. And so I want you to have that mindset of there's another opportunity. If something happens in your business or happens to you personally, learn from it, because that failure that you might think it's a failure is really not a failure. It's just another opportunity waiting somewhere else. And then goal number 4 is realize that you are nature's greatest miracle. In this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, I didn't realize that it was such a spiritual type of book, because of the title. And so when you're thinking about who you are and that your uniqueness is your competitive advantage. Sometimes I've heard this quote that you are your only competition. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, because you're the one that critiques yourself. You're the one that, makes yourself feel a certain way. Nobody else can make you feel something. If you have, I've heard people say that before, you make me feel sad, or you make me feel bad, or you make me feel angry. Well, you don't have to feel that way, right? You have a choice of how you look at things. It's look at yourself as a winner. No one else is like you. So if you believe in yourself and you believe that you have what it takes, then again, know that you are a miracle. Know that you have everything that it takes to be a success. Because when you have that kind of mindset, you're going to attract what you need. You're going to attract people that are going to help you get there. You're here today to listen to this mindset, and I hope that you are looking at yourself just right now. Look at yourself as a winner. Look at yourself as a miracle. Because when you love yourself, you'll start to see that the fear will dissipate. The aspect of you being a loser, that kind of stuff just goes away, because you've put a different kind of mindset on it. And when you go out in business, you talk with buyers, you talk with sellers, you talk with friends, family, people are going to like the way they feel around you. And the more people that like the way they feel around you are going to work with you, are going to refer you. And that's how I built my business. I've been doing this for 33 years, and I built my business as a referral business. And I love it when I get those referrals, because people, when they close, they were like, I really enjoyed working with you. And I said, well, if you enjoyed working with me, you must have some friends and family or coworkers that would enjoy working with me as well. I mean, that's just how I say it. And literally, right after they go under contract, that's when I start saying things like that. How are you feeling about things in this transaction? So I'm giving you a couple of little things to use when you're working with the buyer seller on how to get referrals, because if you trust yourself and these people know you, like you, trust you as well, you're just going to keep getting more business. So scroll 5 is to live the day as if it's your last. So I know that sometimes this is hard to do, because a lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about, what if this could be the last day that I run this business? You don't want to waste time on worry, because today is the day that you need to take action. If there's something that you really, really, truly desire, get rid of the fear and start opening yourself up to that desire, and just take the moment, like in the now, and say, you know what? She's right. I have always wanted to travel to this place. I'm going to do it. I'm going to look at how I can make this happen, and then just take action. because so many of us just think, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And if you have a mindset like that of I'll just do that tomorrow, well, guess what? Tomorrow is tomorrow. It might just be another tomorrow. So today is the opportunity. Live the way you desire, and then you will attract to you the things that you want. So make a list, make a bucket list. I do that every single year in December for the year ahead. So do that, right? Take notes now and say, you know what? I'm going to do a bucket list. I'm going to do the things that I want to be, the things that I want to have, the things that I want to do, and the things that I want to give. So, okay, those 4 things, the things that I want to be, to do, to have, and to give. Because if it's all just taking in, you need to realize that you also need to give. So you got to be open to receiving, and you've also got to be open to giving. Because if you have that type of balance of what you want and what you desire, and then you put it out there, you have to also be looking at what you can give. It could be giving time. It could be giving money to a charity. It could be doing any of those kind of things so that you can actually start receiving as well. So live the day as if it's your last and create that bucket list. So scroll 6 is to start mastering your emotions. And I want you to say things like this: I will master my emotions. Okay? Or you can put it in the present tense: I am mastering my emotions. So if you can control your emotions before they take control of you, because what happens a lot of times is we get that emotion around a certain feeling, and then we actually, I've read some studies on your brain and the neuroplasticity aspect. Did you know that your mind can actually create something that's not there, that is just a total illusion, but you believe it? Which that non-conscious or subconscious part of your brain can actually do things like that. Did you know that you can create stories in your head that aren't true and you believe them? So try to master that emotion of fear, master the emotion of anything that you hate, and only you can control your emotions. So again, when you say things like, you make me so mad, it's actually you are mad because you actually made yourself mad, not somebody else. Somebody else could do something that you don't like, but if you control your own emotions, you can let that go and it won't bother you. So try to do that. I thought this was one of the best things that I read in the book, was mastering your emotions. So scroll 7 is laugh at the world. There's so many things that are going on right now that are very serious, but if you keep your perspective lighthearted around things, and you don't take life so seriously, that's what I love so much about Brent Gove, because every time I don't know if you've been around him before, but you can feel his energy. It's always just so positive. And that's why I think he's been able to grow such a huge organization within the company. He's the highest income earner in EXP. So if you haven't heard of Brent Gove, go look him up online, YouTube. He's got a lot of great content. But every single time I've ever met him, talked to him, or seen him on a Zoom call, or watched him on YouTube, he's laughing. He laughs at himself. He laughs at life, and it makes you laugh too. So be that kind of person that if something is not going the way you want it, laugh and learn, right? Laugh at yourself and then try it again, because you're putting a different energy around it. So laugh at the world. Scroll 8, multiply your value. And we always think that we've learned everything. I mean, 33 years in real estate, I have still yet to learn everything. There's so much you can learn, and you need to multiply that aspect of the things that you have learned. And how can you learn more? So if you look at yourself and say, you know what, I want to learn more about this. So right now, AI. Let's bring up AI. AI is like just taking off. And it's not going to replace us, but there are things that you can do in your business to use AI. Okay, so just to let you know, with this PowerPoint, all I did was went to ChatGPT and I said, create a PowerPoint on the 10 principles of the book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. And it created a PowerPoint. Boom. Took about 15 minutes. And so I want you to know that if you practice, 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 because that's what it's all about. If you want to succeed in this business and you want to succeed in life, a lot of things don't just come naturally, right? I mean, you need to learn. You need to go out and learn how to do things. And if you, what I've always said is look at something that you're really afraid of doing and try it. Because if you have something that you fear and you actually try it, you are going to come out of that with more value because all of a sudden you've accomplished something that has been, you've been afraid of your whole life. So if you show others the value that you think and you believe that you have to have demonstration of that, and you have to show the discipline aspect of it. The learning something new or providing more value, you have to actually have that discipline of with it. Okay, so maybe you make a list. Make a list of all the things that people have told you they think about you or what they like about you. Maybe your buyers and sellers, what are the things that they said they liked when they were working with you or after they closed and they told you things? Because you're going to use that value, the things that these other people have told you about, and work and build on it and take that to the next transaction. So now we have this scroll 9. And what I was just talking about earlier of, having that value, seeing the value in yourself and then making it even more value, you also have to take action because you can't just write it all down. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to take this class, or I'm going to learn more about AI. You actually have to do it. You can't just think it. Okay, so you have this mindset of, yes, I'm going to do this, but nothing happens without action. And so many people in this business don't understand why they get stuck, because they just are sitting there waiting for something to happen. And you will not get results, whether those results are good or the results are bad. You can't get results without taking action. So in this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, he said it 10 times. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. I will act now. And he kept saying it in the book over and over and over. And what it made me do is it made me actually get up and take action because I was saying it as he was saying it. And if you write down the actions that you're going to take, so I do this every single morning, and I make my whole list. I take the first hour of being grateful. I read positive things, positive affirmations. I write down my affirmations, but then when I'm ready to get going, it's usually around 8:30 in the morning, I write down what I'm going to do that day. Here are the things, here's the people I'm going to call. And then I actually act. Okay. So it's not just about writing it down. It's about actually acting on it. So you can either say, I will act now, and use that as part of your affirmations in the morning so that it encourages you to take action, but you have to take action to get results. And the last one, I loved this one because if you think about it, all the scrolls that are in this book, it all comes down to this last one of actually asking for guidance. So spiritual and moral grounding will give you purpose and direction. So many people say, I just don't have any direction, or I just feel like, I don't do anything. I can't act because I just can't move. And so if you ever feel like that, if you ever feel burned out, or you ever feel stuck, just ask for help, right? Someone is there for you. I know there's so many people within our organization. There's so many, that's the cool thing about EXP is I feel like we're so collaborative with each other because we all work for the same company. We all are part owners of the same company. So all you got to do is just ask, and then this person is going to help you. So shadow someone, ask someone, I'm really stuck with doing these listing consultations. When I go out, I just don't feel like I'm doing the best that I can do. Can I shadow you? Can I watch you? Seek people out that you would like to become friends with. Okay, there's got to be other people that you admire, and you just ask them, hey, I would like to get to know you better, and then ask for help. Seek out what really is going to give you direction and give you purpose. And I always say, if you want to meditate on something and then just ask for a sign or ask for something that's going to kick you in the butt and get you going, because if you're stuck, you can't just stay in that stuck position. You got to ask for help and pray on it. Pray up for the answer, that you're going to meet somebody or that something's going to happen to you so that you can take that action and become, the person that you want to be. So all of these asking, this last one, I'm going to go back through real quick so that you can, so the 10 principles are the power of good habits, greet each day with love, persist until you succeed, you are nature's greatest miracle, live this day as if it is your last, master your emotions, laugh at the world, multiply your value, take action now, and seek guidance. So go out. If you read this book, that's fantastic. If you haven't, listen to it on Audible. It's great because of the way the story flows. And I hope you got something out of this today, because I really did. I loved reading this book. I loved that it was really something that, like I told you, what does it say? To give. Let me put on my glasses for that. Do, give, have, and okay. So to be, to do, to have, and to give. Those are the 4 things that if you want to make your bucket list. Okay. So I do that every year, and then I have that bucket list posted up so that I can actually, look at it. And once you have that bucket list, I promise things will start happening. I'll give you one example. I had on my bucket list about 7, 8 years ago that I wanted to go to Tokyo. I'd always wanted to go to Japan. I just put it on the top of my bucket list. And literally about 3 years later, after I had it on my bucket list, and I put it every year that I wanted to go to Tokyo, wanted to see Japan, I got invited. I got invited by a group of people, and it happened. And so I promise, when you look at your goals and you look at the things that you really desire, you're putting that out there, putting it out into the universe that you really want it, and it will happen. So happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful that you all showed up, and have a wonderful week, and take some time off on Thursday to be with family and friends, and then write down what you're grateful for. Okay? Have a great week. Bye, everybody.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.